Welcome back. Another episode. It's been a while.
It has
It
been
has
a
been a
while.
while. I went on a hiatus from Al. We got a little divorce.
Joe went to go take some ayahuasca in Minnesota.
I don't know what ayahuasca is. Sounds like
See,
a pet.
it worked on him.
Yeah.
It cleared his mind of all the past, and it's just a fresh start now.
Yeah.
Heading into 2025, fresh start.
Yep.
And now we're just chill. We're
We're
chill
just
guys.
here again. And as you can see, we're in a different layout right now. We're I was gonna say we're transitioning. I don't think I could say that. But
We're not doing that.
We're moving.
Yeah.
We're doing things. We're going to be changing up the setup. We're going to be changing up a lot of things. Different area, maybe a couple weeks here. Then we're going to, until the whole new setup is set up entirely and I figure it all out there. And then
We're gonna be Mr. Worldwide now, so we might be in some different locations for the time being. For the most part, we might just be here chilling. So this is what you're getting for now, guys.
And as you can see, both of us are vintage.
It's clearly vintage day over here.
We're throwing it back to the old school because we're old fools. And that's it. That's all I have. I was trying to think of the next part. But
calling ourselves old fools. We're not even 30 yet.
Yeah. Well, soon. Our buddy that's playing FIFA in the other room is 30. He says he's not, but he is 30.
Yeah, it's like 35.
But anyways, it's been a while. We missed a lot, so we can't fully harp on everything that happened.
Dude, we were gone so long. Your boy Bove almost died.
Yeah, so that's what we're literally going to talk today about Juve and Roma because it's been a while since we kept up with us, right? And we know what's going on in that world.
Keeping up with Jose and Al.
Yeah, so this whole episode is going to be keeping up with Jose and Al, bouncing back and forth of Juve Roma stuff.
Whether you like it or not.
Yeah, we got to do it. It's been a while since we actually even saw each other. So that's why this is going to be literally us speaking to each other like we're just in the garage, having a coffee, talking shop like we usually do.
The old days, garage talks.
Garage talks. That's how it actually all started. This whole thing was a garage talk. But I digress. We'll talk about Bove first.
Yes.
And we'll talk about how he passed away or whatever happened to him.
Sinking over here.
Yeah, I know. It's nice.
Yeah, really got to get accustomed to this.
But so Bove, I don't know if he actually passed away. Like he was died like Ericsson did.
They haven't mentioned anything like about his heart stopping or anything like that. But I mean, it was a scary moment.
It was one of those things. It was like Christian Eriksen as well, where like something happened, he just collapsed on the field, like whatever. But now with Bove, it's really weird to me that
did you see that like the fan video that was like from the stands, like literally directly on, like you see him, I think he was like drinking water. And then like he's like walking away, and you just see him like start stumbling and like literally just like, falls like head first. Like,
and you know what, dude? It's just crazy because like growing up, you never saw this from players. Like okay, like obviously they would hack butts, they drink at halftime, like they did whatever they wanted to do.
The picture of Cruyff just in the locker.
Yeah, you know what I mean. George Best used to finish from going to a club and then come play a game at Anfield. You know, like there was.
They don't make them like that anymore.
Yeah, and like now, like fast forward present day. These guys are more athletic.
Yeah,
they are superhuman almost, like everything. And with all the advancements in technology, science, this and that, and it's like the fact that we're kind of almost regressing and like going back to like this, like these guys are having cardiac conditions now, and like it's either it's way too much for them, you know, like and like no matter how fit they are, no matter how athletic they are, like it's bound to happen type of thing, or it goes back to like I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but like you know the COVID thing, right? Maybe that did take a toll on all these players, you know, like
it's. Not getting into that whole kind of situation, that whole conversation. That's like a 4-hour episode. You want to get into that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, man, like you see after the whole COVID times and getting through that, and like now, like you're it's not even just in soccer, man. You seeing it like all over in all sports. And some of these players are just like dropping down, or you hear them like coming out like okay. Thankfully, it doesn't happen in a game, and you know the fans have to witness that, and you know. They figured out on their own with some testing, whatever, that they have an inflamed heart, all this stuff that never was a thing you ever heard of before with these athletes. But now all of a sudden it's like, okay, how's this happening so consistently? Something changed, and it just the timelines.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That's what the biggest thing is. It's the timelines of everything, and like that's what makes you start to think like, oh, maybe those theorists were onto something. You know, like maybe
but then it could also be like something so simple that, like you mentioned before. Just the overloading of people's bodies and you know just putting a lot of stress on your heart. Like working out as much as these athletes do, and training as much as they do, and playing as much as they do, it takes a toll. And like, okay, you're not seeing it happen to everybody, and there's people out there, like we said, okay, that got the vaccine, that they're fine. So maybe it is just certain players that their bodies just can't handle it, and it's just they're overloading, and it's just leading them to collapse.
The biggest thing is, like, you look at our version of recovery is I'm sitting at home sleeping the whole day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if I'm exhausted, like I just played a game or whatever it is, like my version of recovery is I'm staying home, I'm gonna sleep, I'm gonna rest, like ice my body, maybe, like whatever it is. These guys, their version of recovery is no, I'm in the gym, I'm on the bike, I'm doing light cardio or anything like that, but it's like you're still working your muscles.
Yeah.
You're still doing stuff like that. And like, obviously there's science that backs it up as to why it's beneficial, but it's also like, hey, that's still a form of workout.
Yeah.
You're still pushing these guys' bodies, like even when their muscles are fatigued and everything like that, like that eventually is going to add up. And you look at a guy like Bove, he's young. He's what, 23, I think he is now, or something like that.
20,
and
23.
Peak physical form, he's a fucking workhorse. Look at what Mourinho called him. He's the kind of malato, a sick dog. He runs for a full 90 back and forth without even breathing. Yeah. And last guy I would expect. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's the last guy I would expect. And like, it's now, like, fast forward, like whatever had happened, cool, not cool. But yeah, like now he had to get it's almost like essentially what he got installed is like a pacemaker, essentially, to regulate his heartbeat and keep track and monitor him and whatever. But now he's not allowed to play in Italy with this thing.
Well, he's not going to be playing for the next 6 months. He's taking off. He has to rest. He's not allowed to play or train.
Yeah.
And then after that, he has to leave Italy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that? Like that law that Italy? I'm pretty sure, I might be mistaken, I think it's only Italy and Spain in like the major leagues.
Yeah. I think, honestly, man, like personally, so when this all happened, Lazio's chief medical officer, idiot, but he came into something and he actually said, like, a lot of teams are actually fudging cardiac problems when they do their medical, like even before the season starts and whatever. And he said, we saw an example of Danzo, who was supposed to sign for Roma. Roma didn't take him because they noticed an arrhythmic thing. Then he went back to Lens. Now I don't know where he's playing now, if like whatever, but then like that was the thing, right? And he's like, there's other players, like we tried to sign Pavlovic on Milan in 2019 and we noticed an irregularity in his heartbeat, so we couldn't go through with it. But a lot of other teams go through with it and push. So like it shows like they are doing like the testing necessary. It's a matter of like, are they ignoring it? Are they addressing if there is some sort of cardiac rhythmic thing? Yeah. But I think again, it goes back to if the guy has a desire to play, a will to play, he has this pacemaker, whatever it is, in place. Christian Eriksen, look, he's healthy now. Yeah. He's healthy. He's playing. Look, he had to leave
Inter because of that.
Exactly. And to me,
he didn't want to leave.
To me, it's like, why do you have to force him out now? Yeah. To me, that's the dumb part, because it's one thing to completely retire from the game because you have to.
Because because of that.
But to actually now just say like, no, you don't need to retire. You're still healthy to play, but you can't play here in Italy or in Spain.
Yeah.
What makes France, Germany, England different? If anything, in England, I would say so, because it's more of an athletic game.
Yeah.
It's more physical. There's more running you have to do, but they're okay with it. And so for me, that's where I think like they're wrong. Like,
for me, I think it just comes down to like just the simple fact of like a liability thing. Because that's the only thing I can think of that like logically makes sense. Because what other reason, if the guy has a machine that makes him able to train and play, why not allow him?
Yeah, no, I agree.
Other than the simple fact of they just don't want to be held responsible if something does happen. And let's just say, knock on wood somewhere, wherever it is, something doesn't happen and someone dies on the field. And then, they look bad or whatever it is. But I think they just want to avoid that. So I think that's why it's stupid. If the guy, like you said, if the guy wants to play there, the team wants to keep him, why not keep him?
Yeah, like the first thought that went into my head, and I told you this in the car, was, he's missing 6 months. Maybe field a team that doesn't buy him. Then he comes back to Roma. I'm happy, but I'm not happy given the circumstances. But it's like the only thing that makes sense is like what you said. Yeah. The liability that, hey, what if something were to happen? We knew about it all, and we just didn't do our due diligence type of thing.
And if you're saying too that like, Roma, Roma's one of the teams that like, when they see these things, like they don't go through because they don't want to be put in that position. Maybe that was the reason they got rid of Bove. Maybe they saw something in the testing and whatever. They didn't want that liability. They got rid of him because for me, like that whole transfer kind of happened like out of nowhere. Like,
I didn't expect that to go through at all.
It just happened.
Like how high everybody is on Bove. Like every Roma fan, we all like Bove. We literally are saying is the second coming.
And that's the thing. He was still very raw. He had a long way to go, but you definitely saw the potential there in him. Now it's just like the question is like, is he going to be able to even live up to that or even half of, what he could have?
That's the thing. And who, given his age and everything, has he proved enough that when he does come back, somebody's going to go pick him up? You know what I mean? Like,
a decent suitor too, not just like some,
second division team.
He can do better than that.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's like his career is almost in a limbo because it's like, should I even play anymore? Or do I just retire? I'm young enough. Like, did I make an impact that, a team in England's going to take a chance on me or these guys, like whatever. Like, and that's where it sucks for him.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
the good thing is England, they're horny for Italians. He comes available that he can come there. Yeah. Dude, I'm sure like a Tottenham or Arsenal loves Italians now.
West Ham's going to get him.
Maybe West Ham.
I think West Ham was linked with him actually in the summertime. Or Aston Villa, one of the two.
Maybe he goes to West Ham.
Which I'd have to be a West Ham.
And you can buy Zach a Bove West Ham jersey.
Yeah, but he wouldn't have the balls to wear something that good. That's
way
way too good for him. But also in saying other good things, thank God he's okay.
Yeah.
Of course, you never want to see players go down. Doesn't matter who it is.
Like I said, like when I saw that video come out after, and it was like you literally see like it's maybe 10 seconds before he goes down, and he's like he's drinking water, he's walking, whatever, like normal. And then you kind of see him kind of like looks a little bit confused, and then he just kind of like starts going down, and then he just like collapses. And like, dude, it's a scary video.
Especially being like if you're a player on that team, like looking to your left, looking at Bove stumbling, and then just go down. It's like, what the fuck was that?
And respect goes to Inter because like man, like you literally saw like as soon as that happened, I don't know if it was Hakan or there was someone standing right there, and like right away they start calling. They're like, "Hey, come!" Like they knew it was something serious, and like right away, like the whole team came. Like, Inter was the first team. They went around him to block it.
Kudos that they actually suspended the game.
Yeah,
unlike with Christian Eriksen, they decided, we're gonna play the last 30 minutes.
It's a timing thing. We got to play now.
Yeah, like that was I respect that because like obviously different circumstances. One's a Euro, one is a league game.
Yeah,
so you can always reschedule it. But in saying that, you could have at least told Denmark and whoever they're playing. I can't remember exactly.
We'll finish this tomorrow.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, let the players go with Christian Eriksen, make sure he's fine type of thing, and then you deal with it. Clear their heads type of thing. But I digress. We're going to talk about Juve. We're going to start with Juve because Bove is technically Roma, so we'll go back and forth.
Not really. He's Fiorentina.
No, he's Roma.
He's with my boy Moise Keane right now.
No, he's Roma. He's a Roma legend.
He's with Moise.
Anyways, let's talk about Juve.
Okay.
Let's talk. Last we spoke, if I remember correctly,
I think we were still fucking massive. I think at that point
you were still massive, and you were very adamant that you were massive. Are the feelings fading?
No, we're still massive. We're still fucking massive. We're just dude. Just the injuries, man. Like it's now I'm scared every game we play. Every game I'm like, okay, who's gonna go down now? Who are we gonna lose now? And it's not like it's the kids or the guys that we have like we have an abundance of midfielders. Not one of them. Nope. It's our left back who's been one of our best players in the team. Never mind one of the best in the defense. He's been amazing. So Cambiaso now. How long is he going to be out? Yeah. You already lost Bremer at the beginning for 6 games with him. Not a goal against our defense. I was feeling like the BBC days. I was like confident, but someone was one at a time. Yeah. After that. You just saw Gatti, Kalulu, like they're still doing good, but when you're missing a piece like that, it's hard to replace that.
Well, the biggest thing is hard to cover. I see everybody saying like Thiago Motta has shades of Allegri with these draws.
People that do that, man, they don't know. Like if you're watching these games and you don't see the difference in the style of play, and at the end of the day, man, we got rid of Allegri. That's what we wanted. We brought in Motta. Give the guy time. Things aren't going to happen overnight. Like look, you saw at the beginning. Look at the beginning. The first 6 games, we had a full, healthy team. Look how good we were playing. Yeah. Like you watched a couple of games, those Monday games, and like you were even saying like,
I'm like, they look scary.
But Juve looks deadly, man. Even like Mbangula would come in, guy just goes off, scores a brace. Like he scored again this weekend, saved us the fucking game.
Yeah.
But like that's like now that's what we're relying on is like these kids to come up and have like these individual brilliant moments and save us like that half the time, because just now we're it's like we're playing scared, and it's like we don't want to push too much to get someone else get injured, and then we're short another guy.
Yeah.
Dude, I was looking. It was 2 weeks ago. I was looking at our lineup, and then I looked on the bench. We had like 6 guys from the Primavera. That not that like, I'm all for that. Bring the guys up. I've never heard of these guys, and I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty good going to a Champions League game.
That's the biggest thing, right? When you're supposed to compete on 3 fronts, 4, 5 actually for you guys, right? 5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. We got Club World Cup at the end of the year.
Yeah. So 4 fronts: Coppa Italia, League, Champions League,
and Club World Cup.
That's 4.
And this one we forgot last time, the Super Cup.
There
Super Cup's in January, and like now they made it that tournament style. Like
there we go. Because I was gonna say, because I remember we talked about this before, and there was 5.
The one who won Coppa Italia, the one who won the league. They play one game. That's it. Why are you making a tournament?
They want to maximize money. They're fucking. It's Italy.
But they do them in Dubai, and they suck every time. Like, dude, now like
no one shows up.
Yeah. Like now they're having a hard time. Like they're really struggling. To, like I think it's to fill the venue. Like,
but that's the thing, right?
Put it back in Italy.
I look at that and like obviously Juve. There was like when the preseason was done and everything. We obviously looked at their transfer market and we did say like, Milik's there, but like there needs a little bit like 1 or 2 more depth. Yes, like there's certain depth they didn't fully address, but we both agreed you can't build Rome in one day type of thing. You gotta slowly. With all these injuries though, does that kind of force the issue of rebuilding Juve quicker, like adding depth and whatever? Like come January,
I think what the injuries does now is it fucks us, and now we're gonna have to make moves that we weren't gonna have to. Like now I'm seeing all these reports with Fagioli, them wanting to sell off Fagioli because they can make
it too.
It was because like now like apparently he's had a shit attitude like now coming off the bench.
Sure, you guys make an Amazon Prime series about him betting. I'd be pissed too. Hey, Ballo, we know you have some mental instabilities, but here, let's make money off of you that you're not going to see.
Apparently was that, I mean, his form, like at the beginning, he was doing amazing. He was playing. Then he kind of fell off. He had that one bad game, and after that, he just couldn't pick it up again. And now with this, and because a guy like him, okay, we sell him for, let's say, 25 mil. It's only 25 mil, but that's pure profit because he's from our, like he grew up with us. He was with our academy. Yeah. So with that money there, Juve can do a lot in January to address buying a defender or 2, because now you lost your left back, who was your Cabal, who was your backup for Cambiasso. Now you have both of them out. Center back because Bremer's out. So they need a striker because clearly Milik, every time it's supposed to come back. Oh yeah, no, he's gonna come back next month.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Like I feel like Milik was supposed to be back already as well.
He was supposed to be back in November. Then it was December. Now they're saying January is gonna be back. Let's see if he actually does come back in January, because we need to have that just to give Vlahovic just a break. Put Milik in, just kind of keep him fresh. He's literally putting everything on Vlahovic. Like I get it. Like people were saying, oh, he's struggling and stuff. Okay, look, last game, the first goal, he created space for that. Second goal, he assisted. He's playing well. It's just he's running all fucking game, and he's playing every game.
Yeah.
It's gonna fucking tire him out. Like,
no, exactly. It's
gonna get to the guy.
It's even the same with Kenan Yildiz, right? Like I think don't tell my nephew and my brother I'm saying this, but I think he is a special player. I think he's a very talented player. It's just you see him, he's starting to burn out too, because he's trying to fill the void of multiple positions. He's supposed to be the second striker. That's his role. Yeah. But then you don't have a left mid with all the injuries. So he goes to left mid. But then who's playing behind the striker? So then it's like he's trying to fill the void for 2 people. Then Chico, obviously Chico's fantastic, but he's a very one-dimensional guy. He can only play on the wing. Yeah. You don't want to see him play striker.
You're not going to play him anywhere else. No.
Colt Miners, I think he's a bit overrated. I've always said that. For me,
this is what I was going to get to, but I'm going to stop you there, because this is what I think they need to do, because this is like when you watch the games, man, you see the way he plays, and just he has the intelligence. Like he's a very great player, and he's a good player to connect the midfield and the attack. Yeah. But for me, he's being played out of position and wrong.
Yeah.
He should be the other center mid beside Locatelli.
Yes.
In that middle position, that's where Yildiz should be playing. Yes. He doesn't do all that running up and down the wing. He can kind of find those gaps in the middle, bring the ball, get it to Vlahovic, get it to the wingers. Yildiz, he shines in that position. Yeah. He's great on the wing too, don't get me wrong, but he shines in that position.
And I think that's the problem with Colt Miners. Like every game I watch, they're playing that 4-2-3-1 with Colt Miners directly behind the striker. But his biggest asset is his working ability, and the fact that he's good at connecting the play. When he was on Atalanta, he was playing center mid, box to box type of thing. He was working on every area and connecting it all. Yeah. I think him playing Cam, it's not doing any justice to his ability.
You're not getting
and like looking at that, it's like, you know what? But it's also situational. right? I look at it and it's like, as much as I will always say he's overrated, and he genuinely just pisses me off his face, I think it is. You know what? It's like I can't even criticize too much though, because he's playing a position he's not familiar with. You know, he's not a cam. He's creative, of course, but he's not that creative that he can unlock things like a Ken and Neil.
He can play there, you know, a couple games to fill in a spot, give someone a break, but that's not his role.
Exactly.
That's what it comes down to. Even put him back and I would even play Douglas Luiz in a more forward role.
Yeah.
I'd even do that instead of and at least with that you have Coop where he's comfortable, where he knows what to do, he knows how to play, and you're gonna get the best out of him. Yeah. That's the problem.
Well, you saw a lot of times, like in the Premier League, with Everton, Doucouré, who's through and through a defensive mid. They put him attacking mid. Why was that? Just because that high press. He was good at pressuring that defensive line, and that's how they got a lot of their goals. He wasn't creative. He wasn't anything special, but it was just that pressure. Douglas Luiz could fit into that role for that reason.
Go take a look at who was our cam in 2015 when we played Barcelona in the finals. It was Arturo Vidal.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Like, when you look, we had a Marquisio, Pirlo, Pogba, and Vidal was our cam. Why was he so good at there? He knew how to finish the ball. He had a great shot on him, and he knew how to press.
Yeah, exactly.
He pressed the guys hard, made them fuck up, lose the ball, turn it over, and they would counterattack.
Yep. And guys like that, it offers the freedom of creativity and mobility for the guys behind him. Like Thuram. I think Thuram is a fucking monster. I'd put a shout in to put him behind the striker.
I'd even do that too.
You know what I mean? Just because I'm not saying he would do it amazing and he's going to be this fucking trequartista god or anything, but look at him. Yeah. He's a physical presence. He's dominant as hell. I've seen him throw, man, like he's 6'5", just raw power like that. Like, why not?
I would do it.
You know, and he could help with the physical part of holding up the ball instead of Vlahovic doing it all and being every part of that attack. You know,
he can help in that.
Yeah, I think right now though, like for Juve, definitely defense needs to be addressed.
Yeah,
depending on the severity of Cambiaso's injury, it's like Bremer's basically done for the year.
Yeah,
Cabal's basically done for the year.
Yeah, those two I'm not counting.
And to come back. I'm curious to know, what are your thoughts with? I know last time we spoke, you said cut him out.
Who?
Danilo.
Yeah, no, I'm still.
You're still riding.
I mean, like, dude, even when he comes in now as a sub, like he hasn't been bad, but like he's just too shaky, man. He's too slow for the kind of game that we're trying to play, and like just the game in general, man. He's always one step behind, and like it's. I was talking to my brother about it after the podcast, what I was saying last time, how just these Brazilians just completely fall off, and like, man, it's so like you compare, and I know Danilo wasn't. I'm not saying he was a fucking top 3 center back last year.
No.
But he was pretty big for us in a lot of games. And seeing like just that compared to this season, it's a complete 360. It's insane. It's fucking crazy.
I think like right now, obviously I understand why Thiago Motta plays him. It's out of like almost like desperation. Like you take the gamble on an experienced vet or a child, whatever. Like I understand that.
Dude, one kid who I'm fucking loving is Savona.
Oh, he's
Savona. Man, just like the confidence that kid already has.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy with it.
Well, I was very curious because last game you guys played, it was Cambiaso, Kalulu, Gatti, and Danilo. Why wasn't Savona there?
Because he got hurt. He
wasn't on the injury thing on FOMOB. That's what I'm asking. I'm like,
he was out. Because it wasn't.
See you later.
Sorry, it wasn't like Sorry, which game was that one?
You're the one Bologna.
Yes. So the game before that, he got hurt, but it's not like a calf strain or nothing like that to put him out. And then I think last game he was just rested because of that injury. And because then you were saying about Yildiz too.
Yeah.
Do we have City this week? So he was trying to rest some guys to not, completely fucking use the same squad both games. So that's why I think he was coming off that injury, and against Man City, I'd rather have Savona than go play Danilo.
Oh, of course.
You play Savona against Bologna, and then he ends up getting hurt again.
You know what, man? I think what bothers me is that, okay, I understand Danilo has the seniority and whatever, but you guys started off the season with Gatti being your captain.
Yeah.
Danilo was obviously on the bench, like whatever. I still think Gatti's a better leader than Danilo.
Oh, me too.
And I think taking away that captain's armband from Gatti and giving it to Danilo when he plays, I feel like it does take a toll on Gatti a bit.
Yeah.
He doesn't seem like as sharp and whatever as he was at the beginning of the year, right? Like I feel like it shouldn't be the case, obviously, because like everyone should feel like a captain, blah, 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 whatever that whole cool thing that people say. But I do think like with Gatti, like it means a lot to him when he has that armband.
Yeah, but Thiago Motta, like, he's already like talked about it too in the past. Like he said, you know, if Danilo's playing, you know, like out of respect, he is the captain of the team. When he's not playing, it's all comes to training and who, you know, I see that, you know, they deserve it. They're going to be the captain. That's what you saw. Dude, you've seen this season. Cambiasso captain the team for the first time. You saw Gatti captain the team at the beginning. Locatelli captain the team. Perin captain the team. Like you saw, it's spreading it out. But man, it's you're for me. That's I love that because you're trying to see, okay, guys, like, you know, you're fighting. It's up for grabs. Now I want to see who is the true leader for this team and who I want to be the captain for this team. Can
we talk about how immense Cambiasso has been? Like, okay, obviously the injury happened, which I don't think it's anything too big time.
Thank God, Cambiasso, like they said, for sure he's going to be missing City. That was obvious.
Yeah.
But apparently it's not as bad as they expected.
Yeah. It was just like a block shot and his foot wasn't like stiff enough type of thing.
So, you know, I'm happy and I'm hopeful that he's back very soon because, dude, for me, call me biased, call me whatever, I don't give a fuck. He this season, he has been one of the best fullbacks in the world.
Yeah, easily.
The way he's been playing, man, has been phenomenal, and such a major, like, you've seen such a major step from last season compared to this, that you're like, you see that stepping stone, and you see the improvements that he's already making. Like his shooting is getting a lot better. Like he's actually making impacts now on the attack, like to be a threat. Like it's just crazy, and like losing a guy like that now, it just hurts even more because, like, man, like what else can you really take from us?
Yeah. Like, well, that was my next question.
Two of our best defenders this year.
For Cambiasso, obviously he's a Swiss Army knife. He's played in the mid. He's played right mid, left back, right back. He's playing in the attack, for fuck's sakes. Where do you think you get the best out of Cambiasso?
Left back.
Like
left back, that left back that he's kind of like a wing back. Because at the end of the day, he's a type, like he's a modern day fullback. Like he's running up that field, getting in on the attack, and also getting back to defend.
Yeah.
That's just his thing. But when I watch him play, don't get me wrong, he plays good in the mid, he plays good on the right. But when he's playing left back, like when we've been playing him and Savona, he's been amazing.
Yeah.
He's been immense, honestly. Like I truly love him as that left back position.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be his.
So you think whenever, like, because obviously he's going to be a starting fullback for the national team as well. Do you think he's being misused in a regard then because he's playing on the right back instead of left back?
Because he, like you said, he's a Swiss Army. Like, he could play those. It's not like he's playing that just to fill the void and, like, you know, it's noticeable, dude. I'm pretty sure he scored both of his goals this season playing as a right back.
That's true. Actually, I think he did.
Off that right side. He can literally play wherever. It's just, for me personally, watching him play when you're getting the best out of him is that left back position.
It's just crazy to me how, like, he could play in a 4-man back line as a fullback. He could play in a 3-man back line. He could play in the midfield. I've seen him play in a 4-3-3 as the right winger. Yeah. Like, it's crazy to see a guy have that, like, at his disposal, and he's doing every position just as good as the other one. You know, and it's like, obviously, like, I could go back and say, oh, there's guys like Florenzi, you know, like, and whatever. Yeah. But, like, Florenzi, you saw how bad he was as a right back. That was just him filling a void. Cambiasso, it's like, you can't pinpoint an actual flaw.
It's hard. No, I do. Like, it's not easy to say, oh, yeah, you know, left back for sure. But, like, I've actually thought, like, I had this conversation with my brother, too. I think just when he's playing on that left side, that's when he's the deadliest.
Yeah. He's one of those guys that I feel like you could look at him and say, hey, go on the field.
Because I even feel, too, like, when Yildiz is playing there, like, that connection him and Yildiz have, dude, like, it just works so perfectly.
Yeah,
it works so good.
Yildiz is another one that, like, Juve, honestly, man, I think future-wise, it's very safe.
Dude, people are so dramatic now, man. Nowadays.
Yeah, and that's what it is, man. It's just crazy seeing the comparisons to Allegri. Oh, look, Allegri didn't tie as many games as us. Yeah, but everybody was against Allegri. It wasn't because of the results he was getting. It was because of the style of football with the players he had.
Yeah,
but that was the problem.
But the thing is, like, now we're getting the results because, you know, let's say we're starting off bad and then we finally wake up and we come back and we get it. Before, it was literally like we were getting fucking railed and just holding everything back. Then we were trying to counter. Let's say we would get a lucky goal, and then we would just play defense the rest of the game, hoping that it would finish 1-0 and nothing would come. And then, but then the problem was we didn't have the right players for that. So we were trying to do that, and then 70th minute, 80th minute, they would score, tie the game, and then we're in panic mode. And then we either tie the game or we end up losing because we're trying to attack now and we're getting countered.
Yeah.
So that's the problem, man. His style, like, dude, I've said it plenty of times. Motta can do worse than Allegri last year, and I'll still say that he did better than Allegri last year.
Yeah.
Just because the simple fact, man, that old style, it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, it's like for me, there's two things with this. It's like what I say about Mourinho. I'm like, obviously when he got sacked, I went on the tangent about like good fuck him, blah blah blah. Looking back, obviously it's like no, it's not that I hated Mourinho or whatever. It's just his style got very stagnant. Yeah. It got stale, and you saw the players even losing.
They need the right teams.
Exactly,
that's the thing. Like Allegri, put Allegri on Inter right now.
Yeah,
he will make a fucking mess with that team.
Yeah, exactly.
He would absolutely destroy it with what Inter has right now, and that team that they're ready to win right now. He would do amazing with them. I'll like, dude.
And that's the thing. Like,
I'll fight someone on that.
You look at like Allegri then, and you compare him to Thiago Motta. It's a style of play, and I think what fucked Motta the most is the fact that he got off to that crazy fucking start, really dominating, showing like, yo, we're Juve and we're here to win now. And I think that set in everybody's mind like Juve is a Scudetto contender. Yeah. Even though like I don't know what they were actually going for this year, but it set a standard then.
Yes.
And now that he's drawing games, nobody's looking at like, oh, they're plagued by injuries, dude. Like they're getting fucked. Okay, they have no starters.
And people also tend to forget too that I guess we tied 9 games. We're still also undefeated, haven't lost a game in the league. And out of those 9 games, we played Napoli, we tied them. Played Atalanta, we tied them. We played Roma, we tied you guys. We played Milan, we tied them. Did we play Inter already? No, we play Inter, I think, soon.
Yeah.
But, I mean, hey, probably another tie.
That's what I mean. Like, it's not the worst
you're not losing, you're not dropping points against the big teams.
That's huge.
That's big, man.
That's huge. There was even the commentator.
Look at us last year. I mean, we did a little bit better, but like the year before that, man, against all the big teams, we were losing. Yeah. We could not get a result against any of the big teams. I think the only one we kind of put up a fight, and I think we won one of them, was Milan.
Yeah.
Other than that, like we lost both times to Inter. I think Roma fucking beat us twice.
Finally, no, we didn't beat you twice.
I think we tied it, and we tied it, and you guys beat us. But like, still, like, dude, you got to be getting results against those teams. Like that, those are the ones that matter.
That was so. Like the commentator when it was Roma versus Atalanta, one of the things that he said was Atalanta's downfall to actually never being a team that's like finishing in first or in that hunt for the Scudetto race was the fact that they will lose to the Seven Sisters of Serie. So like the founding teams and whatever. And that was Atalanta's downfall because they will lose both games against Juve, both games against Inter, lose one against Roma, win the other one. Yeah. And those are the points that matter the most. Like, okay, obviously you could run rampant and rail every bottom feeder team and whatever. But that's what the top teams are already doing.
If you're not beating the top teams.
The top teams is where you make or break and what separates you. So if Juve is not losing to those top teams, they're not getting maximum points from you. Yeah. So that means you're breaking even type of thing. You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't see Juve's season right now. It is like, I get where people are coming from, where they're overthinking it and becoming critical because it's Juve.
That's the thing. Like, okay, this weekend against Bologna, let's just say we won that game. You go look at the standings, we're in third place.
Yeah.
Like we're right there. Considering 9 fucking ties, we're right up there. Yeah. We're not far off.
Yeah. And I don't know if
it's a long season still.
I don't know if it's like my inner like Roma fan and whatever, because we're not used to winning games or whatever it is. When I saw Juve come back from 2-0 down, to me in itself, I'd say that's a win. Because hey, you guys have the fucking steez to rival back. And like obviously I know Bologna isn't what they were last year. They don't have Calafiori, they don't have this guy, like whatever the case is. But Bologna is still a decent team. They were always a team that troubled top sides. You know what I mean? It's like Sassuolo 3-4 years ago. They always trouble the top sides.
And you even look at Motta with Bologna. What he was doing at the end of last season, how good they were doing, that didn't happen overnight.
Yeah.
It takes time. It takes time for these things to kind of get integrated and to start and to the full effect. Like I agree with I think Del Piero this week. He was saying that Juve's biggest problem now is that people come there and they don't fear them. They're not scared. They're not, they're not going there and like, oh fuck, we got to play Juve. They're going there and it's like, hey, you know what? I think we can actually get a result here. Like, let's push. Like, let's push them. We can get something here. Yeah. That's the problem, man. When you look, the 9 years of dominance, people fucking even in their own homes were scared to play Juve because they knew what they had to go through for 90 minutes. Yeah, exactly. It was tough, and that's even if you're not bringing that fear, okay, at all times, even when you're going there, but you have that fear in your home stadium. Yeah. That will be I think the next big step that we need to take is to bring that fear back into our opponents. But that's the thing. When they come and play.
That's not built in a season. No. That's not built in 20 games. No. You know what I mean? That's over time. Look at what Pep Guardiola said when they talked about City, like if he's going to be the manager next year, blah blah blah, whatever that whole debacle is going on there. his exact words were, I don't want to go to another team, install my system in, and whatever. That's going to take too much time. Yeah. I'm too tired for that. Because that's Pep Guardiola. Generational, if not one of the greatest coaches of all time, right? Whatever you want to say about him. And he's even saying like, hey, it's going to take me time to get whatever team I go to the top. Yeah. And that's the thing. What do you like? You think Thiago Motta's Guardiola? That's Guardiola saying that he needs time. So imagine Thiago Motta, and he's going to need a year, 2 years.
And that's probably
you'll start to see you'll start to see Motta moving and his team, like the image he has next year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you'll see like glimpses of it. Oh my God, it's so fast paced. It's this, it's that, it's whatever. Yeah, of course. But then there's going to be those dark periods. This is technically deemed a dark period, even though it isn't, because they're just injured. It's not even like the team's playing bad. It's injuries.
Like, I'd rather go through this now if it means if come January after like that winter break and we have that second half of the season, we wake up and we can get those results, because that's when everybody starts dropping points. Come January, February, that's when every year you saw Roma do it in the past. You saw Inter do it in the past. Many times Inter. There were so many, all those years, every time by Christmas, Inter was first place. Oh, we're going to win this year. And then Juve comes back.
That's why we always used to make the joke of like the January slump.
Yeah.
All the top teams, the only one that always remained consistent for like literally everything was Juve. They were the only ones that would stay relevant. Every other top team somehow in Italy, dead. Milan's losing to fucking Hellas Verona. Inter's losing to Piacenza.
Everyone's comparing us to like Thiago Motta now, like this, how it's going now compared to last year Allegri. But okay, remember at the beginning last year, we were on like a fucking undefeated streak. We were doing unreal. We were winning. And then came January and we just fell down.
Yeah.
And we just kept falling.
January
we got further and further from first place.
Yeah.
That is the biggest thing. If we can, kind of get through this tough period right now that we're going through and figure it out, and come January, Vlahovic kind of finds his feet and he starts firing up. The team starts kind of figuring it out and start playing together, like with what we have. That'll be the biggest step and the biggest difference that people will see in Thiago Motta compared to Allegri.
Yeah.
Because the fact that people are comparing them, and when I see that stuff on Twitter, dude, even as a Juve fan, say this, I'm like, dude, you guys honestly don't know fucking nothing.
Yeah, listen, you know me, I was a big advocate for Allegri, but I've also always followed it up with the team needs to suit him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's Allegri. I'm not gonna bash him and say he was a shit coach for Juve. Maybe he started losing the plot towards the end, but it was the player and the team he had wasn't his image.
Oh, but dude,
you know what I mean?
You saw it the first time with Milan. When he won the Scudetto with Milan, you look at the team he had. Everybody was there. He had fucking Shevchenko was there. He had fucking Inzaghi, Ibra, Thiago Silva, all these guys. Next season, they sold off a lot of these guys. Didn't have much. Still had something. Had to try to do something. Couldn't do it. Fucking finished, I think, 7th. They got rid of him.
Yeah. Everyone
thought, oh, this guy doesn't know. This guy came to a Juve that was well set up, well oiled by Conte, ready to go. He took it over, and then look what he did.
Yeah.
That's what he needs, the team that is ready to go.
Yeah.
That is what he needs.
He's not a project. He's not a tinkerer. He's not a guy that builds something.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, he's not – Conte's the perfect guy to build a dynasty because he'll make do with scraps, whereas Allegri's a finisher. Mm-hmm. And that's what it is. Like, you saw that Juve, how dominant they became. Yeah. He was able to score one goal, park the bus, done. Mm. We're done, guys. Don't worry. The game's ready. Once you knew Juve got that one goal, it's like, why would you even play? Just go back to the dressing room, get changed, go home, make love to your wife, and see you later. Because you're not getting through that.
Literally, that's what it became.
So, now we have. Let's talk about Roma a bit. Not gonna harp on them too long, guys. We're not gonna. We don't
I can relax a bit. No, Joe. We're going into it now.
We're fucking.
What? You're massive.
We are. You're larger than life.
You're closer to relegation than first. Settle down.
Buddy, we just beat the relegation. We beat Lecce. We're tied in points.
Yeah.
2 points away from relegation. We're back.
You're still close. So pump the brakes.
No, guys, we're back. We've
never been so
been
the biggest thing you guys have done right now was bring back Ranieri. And even that one, we're still questionable because
no, listen.
He may have like Alzheimer's and will not fully be there right now.
Ranieri, the thing is, I want to say one thing about these owners. They pulled the wool over everybody's eyes. Mine included. Mine fucking included, because it was like, they came in with the biggest bang of bangs. We're sacking Fonseca. We're bringing in Jose fucking Mourinho. Got everybody fired up. Red carpet rolled out. Royal treatment. Then when the going got tough with Mourinho and everything happened the way it did, what do? You fucking play on the heartstrings. De Rossi's coming, buddy. He accepted the role. No questions about a contract talk, nothing. does well, finishes the season with a bang, boom, extension. Holy fuck, this guy's him. Like, whatever. But all they realistically have done is actually just play on the heartstrings of Roma fans. Mm-hmm. That's all they did, and they were just mismanaged.
The only one that was out of the ordinary was the Ivan Judic.
Yeah,
that one was like.
But it's the thing, Al. This is where I'll say, like, that's actually the most American Friedkin thing to do, because they actually don't know. And look who's they have: Florentino Gasolfi, who I don't even know his repertoire and his resume as a sporting director. We had that guy Thiago Pinto. What was his resume as well? Then we had Linda or Lena Saliok, whatever her name is. What was her fucking resume?
Also true.
Now she's with Bournemouth, and she's like, what the hell's her purpose there? Like, he was always guided by the wrong people, and he had the wrong supporting cast. Mourinho was great, but he expected the world out of Mourinho. And he expected Mourinho to be transfer scout, negotiator.
Yeah, they wanted him to be everything.
Right? So, like, that's where he was wrong. Then De Rossi came in, and he thought he could get away with murder with De Rossi because his love for Roma overpowered everything. But that's the worst person to do
advantage of.
Because a guy like De Rossi is outspoken.
Yeah.
And he'll kill you with his kindness. He's not going to stand for it. Exactly. I found out afterwards that he ended up telling, like, Lena, hey, you worry about what's going on upstairs. I'm going to worry about the field. Jesus. Like, he told her straight, like, fuck off, basically. And they didn't like that. And he was sacked. Then they brought in a puppet in Judic who, no, Bello, we're fine. No, we're not. We lost fucking.
No, don't worry.
No, the players don't want to respond to me. Yeah, because who are you, dude? You're scraggly. Like, you don't even shower, poor guy. Now they brought in Ranieri, and I think for me the most important part is for Ranieri is, listen, do I think this season's a wash? Kind of, yeah. I want to see us finish in some sort of six. Yeah. I want us to be relevant. I want us to fight, because at the end of the day, we do have a team on paper that could fight. Yeah. That could rival everybody.
Should not be that low in the.
You know what I mean? So, like, I do think we're like that sleeping giant right now. I want to see Ranieri go all in for Europa League, because that's your only. If we are going to make Champions League, if we are, it's a big if now. If we are, that's your only chance.
Yeah.
Season's a write-off. You're doing what you got to do in that regard, and that's it. With Ranieri, though, the biggest thing is the fact that once he's done this year, he's going to be a part of the upstairs management.
If the Friedkins don't mess it up.
There's that as well.
But
thing. That's the rumor. That's the contract that's in place. Yeah. And for me, that's larger than anything. Because if you remember the last podcast, I said the Sampdoria guy who was a Roma fan, he offered to work for free.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing in Rome. Look at all the top clubs. They have somebody that knows the environment. You know what I mean? Like Inter with Javier Zanetti. Juve has Chiellini. Before that, they had Nedved. It's guys. Milan has Ibra. And they had before that Maldini. It was always guys that knew the environment, knew what they needed, and everything like that.
Yeah.
And I think that's what is missing from Roma. And that's why I was so adamant on De Rossi. Because is he the right coach for Roma? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. Like, whatever. But he just knew what it took. He understood the assignment. Ranieri understands the assignment. He understands the fans. He understands everything. And everything he's been saying, he told him straight with Dybala. Because apparently there's something in his contract. If he plays X amount of games, he's entitled to getting like a $2 million increase. So that's why he's been benched under Judic. But Ranieri came in and said, I'm not going to fucking bench him.
No.
If I want to win games, he's our best player. I'm going to fucking play him. Rightfully so. And they respected it. They said, okay, cool. And I think I'm just looking forward to like almost like next year to see, which I mean, the season's not done. I shouldn't be counting the fucking whatever, but it's like, I'm just curious.
Already looking forward to next year.
Yeah, well, I am, because it's like, I'm excited to see a Roma that is run by the Romans. You know what I mean? Like guys that actually understand what it's like to be there, like Ranieri being in the head office. I think that's fucking huge. He knows he's done great things for us and like whatever. And I think he'll be the one that actually gets our signings in order, appoints a fucking proper fucking coach, because God knows we haven't had anybody proper. Like Mourinho was great, but obviously that ran stale.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing this Roma. That's why I'm envious of Juve, because you guys have a guy like Thiago Motta, and you guys are patient. You guys are going to have Thiago Motta for 3+ years. I can't remember the last time I looked at fucking Roma and said we're going to have him for 3 years. Inter gets Simone Inzaghi, who wasn't supposed to be as good as he is, and look how long he's been there.
Yeah.
Didn't they just extend him again?
Yeah, I think so.
Recently, and it's like, hello, what about Roma? Like, we should have that continuity, like where it's like we have somebody there. You ride through the waves. There's going to be good times. There's going to be bad times. You just go with it. You're a project. You're building. Like, I don't know. It's just frustrating. It's terrible seeing them in the state they're in. when I know what they could be.
Mm-hmm.
And then I start thinking about Mourinho again. And it's like, when Ranieri's coming out and saying the same thing, it's like a mentality thing. Like, these guys need to be coached on their head.
Mm.
And Mourinho was saying the same shit. You know, like, obviously that's always been a problem with Roma because coaches before Mourinho even said that. Do you
think now it's becoming like more of a problem?
100%.
And like
100%.
now it's like getting more to the side of not being able to be fixed than getting
that's why
I'm head straight.
But that's why I think Ranieri's the good guy now for this position, because you look at what he's saying about Pellegrini, who is in a slump of slumps. We all know about his inconsistency, but we see when he's on how he's on. Like, he's fantastic. But you have Ranieri that comes out and says it's all psychological for him. He's running for no reason.
Yeah.
He's a good goal scoring midfielder. Since he's one of the best I've seen since Lampard. Obviously, that's a stretch.
Yeah,
but he's trying to give him that confidence.
Yeah.
And he even said, he's like, I'm not playing Pellegrini until he's psychologically there, until he's ready. He's in a rut. He's still, like, when I see him in training, he's running for no reason. He doesn't need to be doing that. And, like, I think that's what this team needs, a coach that's actually going to stop, look at them and manage
give them
in that
proper
regard.
direction.
Yeah. Like, hey, what are you fucking doing? And I think it'll resonate with these players more because, again, Ranieri is born and bred Roman. Mourinho, obviously, he got the best out of these guys that first year, cusp of second year, but you saw the players starting to revolt against him. Mancini, who's like one of the senators, is being a fucking dickhead. Cristante, useless. Pellegrini wasn't doing what he had to do. There was a lot of these problems, and I think with Ranieri, it's like, you're not going to bash Ranieri. You're not going to go against him because you know he knows what it takes. He's the nonno for a reason, man. He's the greatest caretaker Roma's ever had. Like, he's so cute with his grandson all the time. Like, what the hell? How are you going to get mad at him and say, no, frig you? You can't. Can't do that. It's Ranieri.
Yeah, but it's also Mancini, and he probably will.
No, I was going to say, if there's anyone that's going to fight, it's going to be Mancini still. But, no, I think
getting around that.
I'm hoping with Ranieri there, it, like, really solves the psychological issues. You're starting to see certain players, like Manu Kone is looking like a revelation.
Yeah, he's looked good too.
He looked good, but
he kind of fell off a little bit.
Yeah, you're just really starting to see him like pound it through and like become something. Paredes, who was phased out of the squad for some reason, is coming back and looking like fucking Riquelme.
Yeah,
like he's moving.
He's looking good.
Mats Hummels, who was dead in the water, Ranieri's like, what the hell? Why are we benching one of our best defenders? Played him and like, okay, yeah, he had that own goal. I get it. Everyone's gonna say I'm crazy, but he's looking like a solid head in the middle, and that's perfect for us. You know,
a guy like that, you need that experience too. That's that
mature head. It's perfect for what Roma needs, and it's like perfect. We have him and Dika and Mancini. Why Ndika was playing center of the defense is beyond me. When you had Hummels, but to each their own. It's just I'm excited to see what the rest of the season brings, and I'll tell you straight up, Al, when Judic was their coach, I genuinely stopped watching Roma.
Yeah,
I was falling asleep during games. I didn't care. It's like, oh, Roma plays cool. Put my phone to the side. Didn't give a shit to watch it. Under Ranieri, we finally got our first win against Lecce. Against Lecce. But it's like I've seen improvements.
Yeah.
And I know obviously this isn't Ranieri's team, but like, you know, it's nice to see these guys running again.
When you can see the improvements, it always makes it feel a little bit better. And maybe next game's going to be even better, and we can kind of like hopefully climb up that table slowly but surely.
That's the $1 million thing.
But so you mentioned the trying to for Ranieri kind of coming in there now and change the mentality of them and trying to get through to them. Talking about changes, do you think in January Roma make any changes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%. I think there's going to be.
Who do you think and who do you want? Two separate questions.
So, I think a part of me thinks something with right back is going to happen because I don't think he's too fond of Zeki Celik, but I think he's just there because it's all reliable. Yeah. I think the Saud Alhamdulillah guy is. Ranieri said it. He's a shy player, but he's explosive. He's good. Yeah. He's perfect. But I do see like Ranieri not wanting to gamble on a guy like that, him coming out of his shell finally. So that could be a position of interest that they're looking for. And definitely a striker, which is crazy because we just signed Dobbik for how much?
Yeah.
But there's no depth. When Dobbik goes down, we play Dybala as a false nine. And watching Dybala play as a false nine against Lecce was probably the most fluid offensively I've seen Roma move this year so far. So it's like it raises a question mark where it's like, hey, is Dovbyk even your guy? Like,
I don't think he ever was.
Is he gonna be your focal point? Whatever.
Like, he ever was. I think that was just like a flex. Be like, we got him.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Like, was that a De Rossi signing? And De Rossi had some sort of plan for him, but now he just doesn't fit in anyone else's plan, and it sucks because we invested so much in him, right? But Sule, I think he's gonna start to find his feet. Ranieri loves him, talks very, very highly of him.
Hey, you played Dybala in that false 9. Sule can fit in the wing,
right? I think the only other position would potentially be like an El Shaarawy replacement, like a starting role for whoever, like, because El Shaarawy's role isn't locked in, and sometimes he's changed the formation every single fucking game so far. This on against Lecce was 3-4-3, so we had Dybala, Elsha, and I don't even know who the other guy was. I'm drawing a blank. Regardless, it was a 3-4-3. Mm-hmm. It worked. They moved fluidly. They moved nicely. So it's like, is that then going to be his thing?
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then we definitely need a proper winger, maybe 2 of them. Definitely, I think, though, like, if I'm going to nail one thing, it's that right back role. It's that right back role, solid fucking starting player.
So then the second part of my question, so other than Eduardo Bove, who's the ideal person you would like to see Roma sign?
Redwardo.
Who's the dream?
Redwardo Rove. His brother. No. Dream signing, honestly, man, would be either a guy like the guy in Bologna, Giovanni Fabian. Mm-hmm. He's playing on the bench, like he's there, he's whatever. He comes off the bench. But under Thiago Motta, like, he was a big focal point. So I think a guy like that would be good. But that's the thing. He's not a striker. He's a midfielder. He's a center mid. Mm-hmm. But I think if you get more creative players in the midfield, mm-hmm. it eases up the roles of Dybala or Sule, Baldanzi, like whatever. Other than that, the only other guy I'd be kind of interested in for Roma, because I'm also thinking price points, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we're a cheap team. We're broke. I would say the right back on Cagliari, Zappa.
Oh, yes.
He's quick. He's strong. He's tall. I think he would settle in quite nicely. And the saving grace with that is he played under Ranieri.
Yeah.
So he'll have that under his repertoire, so he could not be the guy for us or whatever, but they're
already familiar. Yeah, they're familiar with each other. They they know how he knows how Ranieri plays. So it'd be a lot easier for him to settle into the team.
Exactly. I think those two for me would be really ideal signings because, I mean, if we're gonna speak in an ideal perfect world, I'd look at you and say, please give me Samuel Ricci, because I would twerk for my knee slide. I would also even say, after you mentioned Fagioli, I would love if Roma swooped in and said, here's 25 mil, give us Fagioli. I'd go crazy for that because I think that's a bargain, and I think he's a solid fucking player. Yeah. But I don't know, man. I feel like nowadays all these guys are too expensive, and I don't want Roma to splash big just to kind of back Ranieri when next year he's done. It's a different coach, different idea, right? In. So that's why I would say, like, for them right now, they're in that weird sticky position where it's like, maybe get depth. If you could loan a couple guys in that are decent depth or whatever, low costing things, do it. But other than that, like, I wouldn't even say buy someone. Zappa's the only one because no matter what, we will need a right back, like a proper right back. Something. So it's like, unless again, Alhamdulillah, I don't know how to pronounce his name, guys. I'm sorry, Alhamdulillah, like whatever his name is. I would love for him to be good.
Yeah, but it's just like you said, it's to feel like a 50-50.
Yeah, exactly.
Whether he's going to come out of his shell and be good and be able to do it and be that role every game, or he's just a backup.
Yeah,
that's all he really ever is.
And exactly, and that's why we have depth, I guess, if he's our backup.
Yeah, somewhat.
Defense, we don't have depth. We suck.
Celik, whatever.
He's
sucks.
so bad. He's so really bad, man. Even though he runs, he pisses me the fuck off.
He pisses me off.
He looks like a barber. I'm not trying to even be racist. He looks like a barber. He pisses me the frig off. Yeah. Like, I'm done with his shit already. He looks like he crop dusts. Like, he's running by a guy. He's like, "Oops, I just farted."
Oops.
Yeah, and he's like,
"Smell this."
Like, he looks like that loser.
Yeah, I kind of see it.
Who do you think? Not who do you think Roma should get? Because I know you probably don't focus too much on Roma, but under Ranieri, do you think Roma could have like a resurgence of sorts, or are you in the same boat where it's like, their season's kind of done? Focus on Europa League. See you later.
I don't because of just how close everything really is, and like how much time is left, and how many points people are going to be dropping. If Roma can get a good run going, I think they can kind of get close to like that top 6 spot, and I think like I think they still have hope to get in like in Europe in general. Not saying Champions League, not saying Europe, like just Europe somewhat in there. I mean, like you said, it's not like they don't have the players for it, and they're trying to figure out the coach thing. Because then if that was a situation, I would just say fold the team because you guys are fucked. Like that's a bad situation to be in. But you guys have like a good enough team to definitely be up there in the top 10, not where you guys are.
Yeah,
and you know, they're just at that point where it's like you don't know because they have a lot of new pieces what to kind of expect. Like Roma can, at the beginning of the season, I said like they could have been, you know, a top 4 team, or they can be like a top 8 team. Like you don't really know with what you're getting, but you know, they have good enough pieces that for sure they can be up there. I think, and I think they will. I think they've kind of, I think they, as long as they don't change again, because then they're fucked. Then fold the team. You're done.
What Al's basically saying is Chris Paul, Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Brees Hall, Roma in top 4. That's what he's basically saying. That's what I heard, at least.
No, I did not.
Seen that Shannon Sharp video like 75
times.
Not say
in the
that.
last 2 weeks. Did not say that.
I love that video. But
hey, before we end things off, I had one question I wanted to ask you. Winter Champions coming up. We're only a couple games away before that's figured out.
Atalanta or Napoli, you're saying?
Well, I mean, Joe, it can literally be from that time. It can be Atalanta, Napoli, Inter. Milan, I think Milan's still, Lazio's there, Juve's there,
Lazio's gonna
Fiorentina's there.
Jesus, you know what, guys? I haven't looked at the standings in ages because
Joe's
very sad scrolling all the way down, and it's like, there's Roma, kind of going away from relegation.
Because usually at this time of the year, Joe's usually sending the stuff in the group chat with Roma in first. Stop the count, guys. We won. Hasn't done that this year.
You know what though? This moments like this almost bring me closer to Roma in a weird way. Like them getting Ranieri kind of brings me a little bit closer because it's like it's my nonno. I love you, Dad.
Just vibes now.
But yeah, now we're just vibing out and I'm loving it again. But looking at this, I'm gonna tell you right now, Juve jumps Lazio soon forward.
Okay.
Let's fuck Lazio. Fiorentina is gonna drop soon. I think. Don't get me wrong. I think Fiorentina, guys, is playing beautiful soccer. Mm-hmm. I think it's very entertaining. It's lovely to see Moise Kean with this fucking chip on his shoulder. And it's like what Bove said. Yeah. He described Fiorentina perfect. We're a team of misfits that were all either rejected from our club or trying to prove something because like they were bought for nothing, whatever. Mm-hmm. And that's what we are. And that's why we play so hard and with a chip on our shoulder. And that is so fucking true. Mm-hmm. Every single one of these guys is like a rejected superstar. Almost. And it's so nice to see Moise Kean enjoying himself again because like
and just having fun playing, man. Like you see the
difference. That's it, man. And like a guy like Moise Kean,
having that confidence.
He has and still has the potential, has the potential, whatever, to be such a good fucking player. And it was just a shame that like, you know, with Juve he couldn't get consistent. When he went to PSG that year, he was doing well, but it's also like, it's PSG.
Yes, yeah.
You have Mbappe, like whatever, all these guys. Now, like him on Juve, then he couldn't find his feet. He went on a terrible goal drought.
His whole season last year.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, exactly. He couldn't score a goal.
When he did, they were offside.
Yeah, so it's like, fuck, you really felt for him.
To be fair, he also got called 2 offside goals. One was his shoelace, and the other one was the heel of his boot.
We all know VAR is already fucked.
That was crazy.
Stupid, but it's just really nice seeing that. But in saying that, I don't see Fiorentina being sustainable.
Okay.
I see them dropping out as well. I see the winter champions. I actually see it being Atalanta.
You see them staying holding that first place
because I don't know their schedule. I should maybe look before I start flapping my gums.
No. You just got it's a blind call, man.
But this is the thing. Okay, like looking at it now, at least looking at it now, before the new year, one of the games they have is Lazio. Before Lazio, though, it's easy teams. Mm-hmm. It's very easy teams, right? And then it heats up for them a little bit. In the new year, they play Juve and Napoli back to back.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's where it gets tough. But I could see them obviously winning their couple games until the new year, and they already have that 3-point gap. I think they are the winter champions.
I think I agree with that.
I really hope they don't win the Scudetto. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Oh, look, it's a true underdog story. No, it isn't. I'm so fed up with that.
You want to be that underdog?
Yeah, exactly. I want
to be Roma so bad. He doesn't want to see anybody else win.
I don't want these guys to thrive.
Atalanta or Lazio?
Atalanta. I don't know. Zaniolo fucking knee slid like a loser. Oh, dude, if I saw Zaniolo in public, I'd fucking shatter his ACL. All the times I backed him up.
Joe is still very fond of Zaniolo, if you guys are wondering.
I got a Zaniolo jersey. I have a Zaniolo jersey, and he fucking celebrated. Your girl cheated on you for fucking Zaccagni on Lazio, buddy. Kick rocks.
Okay, but before Joe burns this place down,
Atalanta though, okay. Over Lazio. Atalanta over Lazio.
Okay, good. Okay, we're gonna end things off here. Yeah. Joe, calm down.
I haven't talked bad about it to you in a while.
We didn't want to get you in that dark headspace. We know you. You just you came back from Yosemite. You had some ayahuasca. You're good now.
I still don't know what this ayahuasca is. It an app?
Joe, maybe you'll figure it out on your next adventure. But now, you don't know. You figured it out already. Yeah. So, guys, if you haven't already, don't forget to follow us on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. As long as you do that, we promise we will be more consistent, and you will see a lot more of us.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you haven't checked out our YouTube channel, check that out. Go subscribe over there, and we will see you next week. We will hear you next week. Ciao.
See you later.